Be right with you, everybody. Just going to invite some folks before the show starts on Let Go Radio. What is up, everybody? It is that time again. It is 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday, and it is time for the My CP Does Not Define Me episode 28. Don't be late because this episode is going to be great. Hey, Miss Cindy, how are you? I'd like to welcome everybody tuning in to the show today. We are live on Facebook Live and www.letgoradio.net. So if you're listening, thank you for listening. If you're watching, thank you for watching. I want to just start off by saying that today is a great day. Why is today a great day? Today is a great day because things are happening in my life. My life has exploded. Hey, Nikki, how are you? I can't really tell you guys the surprise yet because I've just gotten into the process. But let me just say this, and I first of all, I titled this show "A Person's Word." Now, this is going to go into two phases. I haven't been by myself in a while to where I've done a show by myself for a little bit. So this show is kind of going to cover some things that I'm going to go into, and like I said, I've got some surprises coming up for you guys, but I can't share anything right now. I can only share some, things with key people that are involved in this process. So things are good. Things are great, actually. And again, when Miss Winnie gets up here, I know she'll be up here shortly, but a big thanks for her for starting me in this process because she pointed me in the right direction once again, and Mama Winnie has always done that. So the amazing thing is that God is good and He knows all facets of what's going on, and I'm so amazed right now that my life is exploding, not only on social media, not only on My CP Does Not Define Me, not only on Instagram and my blog and things like that, but life experience is starting to happen. Now, a lot of you are going to question this and go, what in the world are you talking about? Why can't you just tell us what it is? And the reason is, and Miss Winnie has said this as well too, everything is not for everybody. And I just, I believe in family. I love my family to death. I think my family is great. And I'm proud of my family and what they've done for me and with me. But some things I'm not going to share, and that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to share everything. I have learned a lot about myself in this past 7 months now as we get ready to finish October. I cannot believe that October has just flown by. We're already at the end of October, getting ready for Halloween. I got my Halloween costume coming. I ordered a Halloween costume for myself and my wife, and we were waiting on the Halloween stuff to get here. So, we're going good there. Rearranging things in my apartment, and we're getting things neatened up and getting rid of things we don't need. Sometimes you got to go through your life and clean out the stuff that doesn't need to be there. The same can be said for people. Some people that you have in your life don't need to be there. Some do. Some people will tell you they're in your life to be in it, and some people will tell you they're in your life to take advantage of whatever you got. And that is family included. Some family members will tell you they're going to help you and they're going to be there for you. And when push comes to shove, the truth of the matter is they're not there for you. They're there for themselves. And people tend to rely too much on what people tell them, and sometimes you have to kind of sit back and see what is happening in life. Now, the reason I say that, and the reason I titled this show A Person's Word is the only thing in life that cannot be taken away from you. And a person's word is not something you can control. The only thing you can control is what you say and what you do. So the amazing thing is, as we go through life, we have people that say, man, I'm going to be there for you when the going gets tough. You can call on me whenever you need something. You just pick up the phone and dial the number. There are all sorts of people like that. But how many of them stick by you in thick and thin? How many of them actually believe in you when the chips are down? And the question is, and here's the funny thing about life. A lot of people can believe in you, but the truth is, you've got to believe in yourself to make things happen. And see, just today, something happened to me today that is so phenomenal, and I can't wait to share it with you guys at the end of the process. I promise I will. I can't give it away because y'all not ready for this one. Y'all not ready for this one. Nobody is ready for this one. When this one happens, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Y'all might even talk in that voice right there. I can't believe it. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of that when I share this with you guys. But why is it that people tell you one thing? Hey, Miss Susie, how are you? Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in, sweetheart. So glad to see you. All the way from Kenya, Miss Susie tuning in. I love it. I love it. I love it. So why is a person's word important? Okay? Disability or not, or different ability or not, why is a person's word important? Here's the thing. I'm going to cover 4 things today with this topic. Okay? A person's word is important because you should always say what you're going to say and do what you say. Because that's important. Your word for you does this. It builds character. Your word and in what you say and do builds character. When you honor that, you show people one thing, and I want to bring this up. You show people that they can trust you, but on top of that, and being on top of that is saying this: I'm not just going to tell you something to shut you up. I'm going to tell you something because I want you to know I do what I say I'm going to do. And that involves honor. I think a person's word in this world gets passed around like a dollar, because a lot of people will say one thing and do another. I'm not that type of person. I never have been, and I never will be. Now, I'm not saying things don't come up, and I'm not saying mistakes can't be made. So understand where I'm coming from when I say this. There are people in this world that tell you things that they want to help themselves. They don't want to help you. They don't want to believe in you, but they make everything sound sugary sweet. And then when push comes to shove and when the chips are down, where are they? When the stuff hits the fan and things start happening, that's where life starts to change. Okay? And as I said at the very beginning of the show, the only thing that you can control is what you say and what you do. Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us. Also, My CP does not define me. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You guys, please be sure to comment so I know who you are. I can see you as you're coming up, but we got a couple new people coming in. So make sure that you say hello to me so that I know that you're here. And here's the thing. I believe in a person's word because there has to be value in it. Okay? I said at the beginning of the show, there are people that believe in you, and there are people, hey, Daniel, how are you? There are people that believe in you, and there are people that are going to use you for everything they can. There are people in this world that are going to try their best to take advantage of you because they can. They think because you're disabled. They think because you're in a chair. They think because you're different than they are. They think that mindset that they can take advantage of you. My week is going great. Thank you, Michael, for asking. I appreciate that. Like I said, something happened to me today that was so great. And the only thing I can say about this is Miss Winnie gave me the opportunity. She said, you know what? She said, you need to go ahead and do this. And because she said I need to go ahead and do it, I took her advice and I went full throttle and did what I needed to do. Now, in saying that, I said before, there are people that are with you and there are people that are against you. And sometimes in life, you ever go through spring cleaning? You ever go through that closet that you hadn't been through in umpteen years, and you got so much stuff in that closet? You got dust bunnies and old t-shirts that you ain't worn in like 2 years. You even got t-shirts with the tag on them talking about something. I wonder if I should wear this. I wonder if I would ever wear this. I got to tell you guys, it is imperative that sometimes you clean out your life. Now, what do I mean by that? You've been doing things the same way. You've been doing things the same exact way for years. And you're tired of what you're doing and you want things to change, but you keep doing the same thing that you've always done. Okay? Things are not going to change until you initiate the change. Now, what I mean by that, you want to save money. You want to start putting money in your bank account, but you eat out every day. You're not going to do it. You want to lose weight, but you eat candy and sugar and drink soda. You're not going to do it. You want to make changes in your life, but the things that you're doing, you got to look at what your life structure is, and sometimes you have to clean out that closet. So here's the thing. I always talk about honor, in being a martial artist and in everything that I do. I try to hold that honor as tight as I can. Hey, Dad, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. I look at my life and I always try to hold honor in what I say and what I do, because that makes my character development is what makes me me. And I got to tell you, when you go through that closet and you clean out that closet that you've got everything in, and sometimes you find them boxes, you know what I'm talking about? You find them boxes, you open them boxes and you say, how in the world did I have this? I ain't seen this since I was 8 years old. And what do? You put it right back in that box. Now, some things have sentimental value, and I get that. Some things you want to keep. But if you can't get rid of something you ain't seen in 10 years and it's been in a box gathering dust, get rid of it. Donate it. You have got to go through and clean out your life. You got to detox your life and your surroundings. Boy, did Miss Winnie say that. Now, I want to talk about this, and I said this earlier, and now that Mama Winnie is up here, I'm going to say it again. Everything is not for everybody. Let me say that one more time. Everything is not for everybody. Now, there's a reason why I say that. In talking about detoxing your life and cleaning out that closet and cleaning out your surroundings and cleaning out yourself, when you detox your system, if you've been putting junk in your system, you're going to get junk coming out of your system. Okay? If you're not drinking water, Corey Wilson, if you're not drinking water, if you're not drinking water and putting good stuff in your system, you're going to get bad stuff out your system. Now, the same thing goes for your character. The type of person that you are is determined by what you say, by what you do. Okay, but there's another part of that. It's also determined by how you think. You can stop something from happening by speaking it into existence before the show ever starts. Now, this right here is something that people do a lot of. Let me give you an example. Somebody wants to buy a new car, and the first thing they say is, I can't afford that. That's too much. Somebody wants to buy a new house, and they say, I can't get $175,000. I ain't never going to buy that house. Guess what? If you say you ain't or you can't, you won't. I have learned from a very important team member and team lady that is on this broadcast right now, And when I say team, I got a good team behind me. We have talked about this. I love it because this right here is so important. Speaking negativity into existence, you've got to stop because you're stunting your life growth right there. Hey, Christina, how are you? I got to tell you right now, when you speak positivity in your life and speak positivity into existence, good things happen. When you speak negativity in your life, you stunt your growth and bad things happen. You want a perfect example? Let me tell you. You know, 6 months ago, when my life exploded, and I've told this story a couple times, Edwina Wilson asked me a question. She said, I want you to do more. She said, I want you to challenge yourself and I want you to think outside your box. I want you to start an Instagram. I want you to start a blog. I want you to start a Twitter. And I want you to start all of that. And I want you to connect it. And I want you to expand your brand. That's exactly right. That's what I just said. If you say you can't do anything, you won't. Because your mindset, and I've said this also, your attitude reflects your altitude. How high do you want to go? Don't stop yourself before you even get off the ground. Get the negativity out of your life and out of your system. So when she told me to expand, I looked at her and the first thing I said was, I don't have time for all this. She stopped me immediately, looked right in my face and said 3 words, yes, you do. Yes, you do. But not only did she speak those words into existence, she showed me how. By taking out a binder and showing me the schedule that she runs and how she runs her schedule and how she manages her schedule and got me to do the same thing. Now, let me go through this. Let me go through this because I want to cover this too. There are those type of people in this world that say, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do this. I know this person and I'm gonna get you involved in this. I know this person. I'm gonna get you involved in that. We're gonna do this together. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna put you on the path that you need to be on. And next thing you know, they don't do a daggone thing. They just sit there and keep telling you, I'm gonna. Realize the I'm gonna people never do. The I'm gonna people never do. The only way to do that, hey, Miss Shayna, Sunshine on Wheels herself. I gotta tell you right now, the only people who do things are the doers in this world. Don't say you're gonna. Stop saying you're gonna and stop doing. Start doing. Understand the only way to make action happen in life is to take action in life. I told you, this is going to be a good show, guys, because I'm fired up today. I wish I could say on the air what this special thing is that I've just went through and just found out about 20 minutes ago how exciting my life is about to get. I wish I could share that, but y'all ain't ready. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that. Y'all are not ready for this. Y'all are not ready. The only person that is ready right now is Edwina Wilson. That's the only person who's ready because she's been waiting on this call. She's been waiting on this call for a while. You know, and this goes back, Ms. Wilson, just what you said right there. You know, the no action folks, those are those things that are in your closet collecting dust. You know, I go back to this, and it's such a simple thing. There are procrastinators in this world. There are procrastinators in this world that say, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to do this next month. I'm going to do this next year. That's too late. That's too late. Get up off your butt and do it today. Because you have the ability to do it today and you're not guaranteed tomorrow, but people are waiting. People spend their life waiting for God to bring something to them. But the last time I checked, the Bible says God helps them who help themselves. God can put you in the right direction, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't want you to take action. You know, and a lot of people are born ready. JP, that's exactly right. A lot of people are born ready, but I want you guys to understand something. The only way to make your life sparkle and to fire up your life is to start to fire yourself. Look, if you want to buy a car, you got to save money. You want to save money. You gotta make the right decisions when you buy something. There are so many impulse buyers in this world that buy everything they see because they think they want it, and then 2 weeks later they wonder why they got so much stuff in their house and they ain't got no room. People want something given to them. Sometimes you don't have to have it be given to you. Sometimes you gotta go out, get off your butt, and take it. Yes, faith without action is dead. Faith without works is dead. That is very true, and I have said that on several shows before. I enjoy having guests on my show. I enjoy all the people, all 27 episodes, then number 28, all 27 episodes where I've had the people. Sometimes I have Miss Winnie, sometimes I have myself, and sometimes I have a guest. But there are those people that say this, and I want to bring this into action, because watch what happens now. You got family, and I'm speaking on my behalf. I can't speak for anybody else, so y'all stay with me. I have family, and I love my family. My family is very positive, and I have a very good family. But there are those moments where they say you can't, or you won't, or you shouldn't. Let me reverse your psychology of thinking, hey, Bibiana, happy birthday to you, sweetheart. I do want to tell you, when you have someone telling you if you want something in life, when you have someone telling you that you can't and you won't, I'm here to tell you I can and I will. You got to reverse it. And part of this right here, what makes this so hard is because they're family. Okay? Understand, just because they're family doesn't mean they're not wrong. You got mamas and brothers and fathers and sisters and uncles and aunts that take advantage of every daggone body, and all they say is, oh no, I didn't mean for that to happen. Nobody ever means for anything to happen by intention. But it happens. And I'm going to tell you, the problem with family is there needs to be a lot more security in what they say and what they do by action, by actions. I can, I will, I am, exactly, I am. It is happening. I keep coming back to this statement, and God is so good right now, y'all. You got to understand, this is such a powerful thing. I'm about to let this cat out the bag, Lord. Woo! I work hard. I work very hard in what I do. And I have a support system around me right now that is the bomb. Okay, Miss Wilson has been with me, since the beginning of the Sports Minion Radio Show. She's been with me since the beginning of My CP Does Not Define Me. But she's been much more than that. In the sense of, I'm going to read that in just a second, JP. That's an awesome comment. Ever since I need anything that I need, and it's not so much just a physical go out and get me something. That happens because Miss Winnie will do that. But Miss Winnie also sees things in people, and I mentioned this 100 times before. She sees things in people before they do. JP said this: my parents were really hard on me. Now I know why. They wanted me to be independent, even with a disability, and that is important. But see, that's different than putting you down. That's different than putting you down, because there are families that put their children down. There are families that talk to their children like they don't exist. There are families that push their children away and push their children down instead of lifting them up and telling them what they can do and what they are doing instead of what they will do, what they won't do, and what they can't do. And when you have a family member or people in your family that do that, sometimes you got to let them go. Sometimes you got to take life by the horns and say, bro, you got to go. I'm sorry, I love you, but you got to go. Sis, you got to go. Auntie, you got to go. Uncle, you got to go. It's time for all the negative weeds to be strode out of the garden, put down new soil, put down new seeds, and go with what you got and bring the positivity back in your life because you got what you need. See, here's the thing. God gives us what we need, but if we don't take action and we don't make it happen and we don't believe in ourselves first and put God first, ain't nothing gonna be productive. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's got to be real. You got to want it, okay? But if you want it, go for it. Don't just stop because somebody tells you you can't. Look, I got to tell you, you know how many times I've been told in my life no? More times in my life than I've been told yes. But see, here's the problem. If I stop when I'm told no, if I'm stopping before somebody says you can't or you won't, I don't understand why we let that stop us, because we got to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks, because that don't matter. If I get up to 88 miles an hour, we'll travel back in time. Miss Winnie said this: sometimes family can be your worst enemy, and then you have those very positive and supportive, like with friends. Let's see, like with friends and associates, and you know, and I gotta say, I'm not saying all families are negative, because family is important. And there's a difference between listening to advice and taking it. Let me explain this, guys. Pay attention, because this is important. Just because someone gives you advice doesn't mean it's good advice, and doesn't mean that you have to take it. I'm going to say that again. Just because someone gives you advice, whether it's family, whether it's friend, whether it's your dog on the corner barking at 98 miles a minute, going, that don't mean you got to take advice of what he or she or they are saying. Because sometimes what you need to do is drop back in the cut, sit your little self down, listen and watch, listen and watch and learn what people are doing. Because when you sit down, when you say nothing, when you wait a minute and you look at what people are doing, you begin to understand what they actually are. Because eventually, when you sit and listen, somebody's going to make a mistake. And one thing I learned from this lady right here, she knows how to sit and listen. And she knows how to learn from what she watches. But everybody wants to jump in with both feet first. And that's smart sometimes, okay? Sometimes you got to go head on. Sometimes you got to go gung-ho. Sometimes you got to press forward. Sometimes you got to push through. But sometimes you have to evaluate the situation. And you got to get somebody that's positive in your life. I'm talking about a pastor. I'm talking about somebody that you've known, that you know is going to put you in the right direction. And it's not always what you want to hear. The good advice and the right advice is not always the advice you want to hear. Trust me, Miss Wilson done fired me up about 122 times. But once I turn the flame down just a little bit and I listen, once I turn the flame down just a little bit and I sit back and I say, why is this woman saying this to me? I understand that my best interests are in her heart, and when she pushes me, she's always trying to push me forward or lift me up, never in the wrong direction. That's what you got to watch out for. The people that are in your life, what are they doing that is positive for you? What are they doing that is making you happy? How much happiness do you have in your life? Do you start the day off with something, Lord, we getting fired up in here, y'all. Don't get me going today. I'm telling you, we getting fired up in here. Lord, have mercy. How much positivity do you have in your life? How much positivity do you start the morning off with? When you are scared at nighttime and you're going through something at nighttime and it just hits you, do you have somebody that you can call and just lay out what you're feeling? Lay out what you're feeling. Sometimes you don't know the answer. Sometimes you just need somebody to be a sounding board and just listen. You're not looking for an answer. You want to vent. Sometimes you just want to let them know what you are feeling. You're not looking for them to give you an answer, but when those positive people that you know are gonna, Lord, I bit my tongue. Woo! Lord help me, Jesus. All right, that devil is alive. But anyway, when you have those positive people in your life, and those people are giving you the good interactions that you need, and those things that you need, you've got to evaluate what they say and use it to the best of your ability. Because when you have a support system and people that you can count on, understand this, because I'm going to say this once, it's a two-way street. Yeah, sometimes you just got to say, bye, boo, you got to go. And look, stop thinking that you're going to hurt people, okay? Let me explain this. You can't make everybody happy in your life. Okay, I'm going to get real for a minute. I've been real this whole 30 minutes, but I'm going to be real for a minute. You can't make everybody happy in your life. Sometimes you got to take life by the horns and say, look, you messing me up. You got to go. You got to get out of here. You ain't causing me nothing but trouble. And if it's family, they got to go. If it's friends, they got to go. I don't care if you've known them for 20-something years. If they're doing negative in your life and stopping you from what you want, they got to go. They got to go. Sometimes you got to get in the car, hit the gas pedal, and drive. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about because Miss Winnie done touched me on that one too. Y'all, Lord, I'm telling you, you can't stop because somebody tells you can't. The only things you won't do or the only things you cannot do or won't do are the things you're too lazy to try. And if you're too lazy to try, then that's on you. You've got to evaluate you. And sometimes you got to realize that it's not everybody else. Stop blaming your stuff that you're dealing with on everybody else. Stop blaming your stuff that you're dealing with, that you've been struggling with, on everybody else, and evaluate your daggone self. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and you got to see what you see, and you got to call a spade a spade. Sometimes you got to go with where it's at, and you got to be what you got to be, and you got to drop the mic on everybody else and stop calling it what it is, or call it what it is and look at yourself. You got to evaluate yourself. You want to blame everybody else for everything that happens in your life. Oh, my life is so bad. Oh, this person done this. She done took my money. He done took my child. Look, sometimes you have to evaluate yourself first, because it all starts with you and how you act. Look, I know things are tough. I know Rona done been in here for about a year and is driving everybody crazy. But I'm going to tell you something. And what I realized, you have to be accountable for your own actions. Yes, ma'am. Oh, trust me, JP, I'm breathing just fine. I told you today I'm fired up. I'm going about 90 today because I'm going around the corner. Something so big has exploded in my life. My life has just got so great. I didn't think it could get this great. I didn't think my life could get this great. When I prayed about this last night, I prayed about this and I said, Lord, I'm putting it in your hands, and that's all I could do. And sometimes that's what you got to do first. You got to pray. You got to pray, and you got to find, hi, sweetheart. Hey, Jill, glad to have you. You got to find, you don't have to know what to pray. Listen to what I'm saying now. You don't have to know what to pray. Just pray. When you start praying, it's going to come out. What you need is going to come out. Stop being afraid of people going to hear you. Stop being afraid if people going to look at you. Stop being afraid of what people are going to think about you. Stop. Stop. Thank you, Miss Winnie. Thank you. You know, I'm going to be honest. You know, I said before, I work hard, but I don't work alone. It is very difficult to go through your life alone. Stop thinking real men don't cry. Stop thinking real men don't show emotion. Stop thinking real men don't feel, because that's wrong. You got to walk through it. You got to go through it. You got to deal with all that. You know, I was told when I was little, you're tough, don't cry, don't show your emotion. Bump all that. When you got emotion, you show it because it's real. Now, there's a time and a place for it. There's a time and a place for it. But I'm going to tell you, Miss Winnie and I are both crybabies. We both done said it. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because you have to realize that the emotion that you feel at that time, God may want you to express it because you know what? You may touch somebody else. I'm not doing this show for me. I'm doing this show right here for somebody else. You've been wanting to do something in your life for so long, and you keep putting it off. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know what city you're in. I don't know what you've been dealing with. Yeah, real men let the emotions, that's right. I agree. Real men let the emotions flow. Understand this. Understand this. You have been sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for something to come to you. Get up and go get it. If you want something in your life, get up and go get it. That's what Edwina Wilson taught me. I can do anything I want. I am powerful. I am able. I have the ability. And I will do exactly what I say I'm going to do. There is nothing I cannot accomplish. There is nothing I can't do. No matter how many people tell me I can't, I'm going to roll them over and prove them wrong in the process. Sometimes you got to put the chair in forward and just go with it. And that's what life is about. That's what life is about. You got obstacles in your life where you got a choice. You can either go through those obstacles, go around those obstacles, or sit and stare at them and let them stop you. Miss Winnie, I'm telling you, I ain't put my suit on, but I'm about to get up and start sliding across the carpet. I got the sweat pouring down right here, just like T.D. Jakes and them 4 little puddles. Look, sometimes in your life, you're going to have those moments where it feels like the entire world is turned against you. But I'm going to say something, so pay attention. It only takes a little bit of light to counter darkness. It only takes just a little bit of light to shine away that darkness. Darkness cannot survive in light. Darkness cannot survive when light is near. The smallest amount of light can pierce the biggest amount of darkness. And people think that and let fear control them. Trust me, it has happened to me. It happened to me for 7 years. It happened to me for 7 years when I had my license and did not drive because I was afraid. Now notice the words I used right there, was. That's a big difference. That's past tense. Okay? I am motivated because I have a member of my team and members of my team that have supported me and said, DJ, what is the real cause here? When you deal with fear, when you deal with something that's bothering you to the point where it's on your mind all the time, you got to get into a mode where you got 2 choices. Deal or no deal. And I ain't talking about the game show. I'm talking about life. You cannot let fear control your life because I'm telling you, if you're not careful, it will. If you are not careful, Fear will dominate your life. You cannot let fear dominate your life because of something that happened. I had an accident almost 8 years ago. Well, I had an accident in 2002, so it's been actually 2002. It's been a while now. So I had an accident in 2002. The day I got my license and the day I got my insurance in a E150 van, I was driving home and I drove home fine. And I went to park my van on a slope and my foot got caught between the gas and the brake and I ran my van into the side of my apartment and did $3,000 worth of damage on the first day I got my insurance and my license. And I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I cried, I screamed, I yelled, and I shut down. That's right. Jill, you be sensitive as you need to be. You can still do what you need to do, and don't let nobody tell you you can't. You be exactly what you need to be emotionally. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to tell you this. For nearly, 18 years now. It was 2003, so, because it was after I graduated, because I got my license after I graduated. So it nearly been 17 years that this thing dominated me. But 2 years ago, when I met Edwina Wilson, I told her about this. And she asked me to try one more time. She said, just try. That's all I want you to do. Now, I want to explain something about that, too, because why I'm talking about this, this is very hard. This is one of these moments I didn't really think I was going to share on the show, but you know what? It's time. It's time because this may help somebody else. Maybe you have your license. Maybe you ain't drove because you're afraid. Maybe you had an accident and you ain't got behind the wheel. Well, I'm going to tell you, since I met Miss Winnie and since she asked me to try, I'm getting evaluated to drive again, and a lot of things are going on to in my life to where I'm going to drive again. Now, let me explain something else. I just used 2 words that are very important. I said I'm going to drive again. I am putting the positivity first. I will drive again. I can drive again. I have my license. I am not going to let fear dictate my life. I refuse to. I've done too much to let fear win. I've done too much to stop now. I've gone too far, too few, too powerful between life to stop right here because of fear. And since then, I've gotten behind the wheel twice, and I've drove the car about 2 feet and parked and backed it up and drove it 4 feet and then parked and backed it up and drove it 6 feet and backed it up, and I got out of the car and I shook for about 45 minutes because I was scared to death. But you got to understand. You got to understand. Fear grabbed me and fear had a hold of me, and I'm going to tell you what. Miss Wilson helped me shake it loose. Because I'm going to tell you what she did. Miss Wilson pissed me off one night. And she said, all you got to do is try. And she kept, and every time we talked, she would bring it up. I'm proud of myself too. Because I didn't think I was going to share this on air. But you know what? It's time. It's time. I looked the same night. She said, all I want you to do is try. And it was like 7 o'clock at nighttime. And I said to myself, you know what? Let me get this woman off my back. I'm just going to look. And I looked at, I can't remember the exact words I searched, but I said adaptive driving instructor, or I think it was adaptive driving instructor that I used. And I found this link. It was the third person that I found because I was just going to click on one. And I found an adaptive driving psychologist instructor. And I want to explain something to you with the last 15 minutes of this show, because this is important. This right here is important. When I clicked on this name, Dr. David Cohen, And you're still fighting and you're still battling, Jill. You keep going. You keep going. You keep going, and you can, because I believe in you as well, and you know that. And to go through this, before I ever talked to Dr. Cohen about getting behind the wheel, he asked me a very important question. Dr. Cohen asked me, he said this. He said, what if you drive again? I said, what? He said, what if you drive again? I want to hear you say it. And I couldn't. When we first started talking almost 9 months ago, I couldn't say it. And he realized at that point that we had to deal with what was in here first. Because in here had put up a wall, okay? And already made me think, my own mind had made me think that I hit a little girl in front of my house. You understand what I'm saying? My own mind and the enemy put a little girl in front of that van, and all I saw was a little girl run in front of my house when I hit my house, and I locked up. My brain locked up, my body locked up, my soul locked up. I was done. And I had to go through with Dr. Cohen and evaluate what was inside my head and what I was so afraid of. Because I was afraid of hurting somebody else. But eventually, you see, we got to the honest question of, did you hit a little girl? And the answer to the question was no. But I saw it. And Dr. Cohen said the reason you saw it was because you're concerned about others. So Dr. Cohen now has been working with me on the psychological part of driving. The when, the where, and the why, and getting me to realize that I couldn't sit behind the wheel of that van because I wouldn't allow myself to do so. You see, I got my license in a car. And that's a big difference. When you get your license in a car and you drive an SUV or a full-size van, that's a big difference. But I'm telling you this. That's true, Ben. That's true. Your mind is very powerful. That's for sure. I just came on to this conversation, but I was like, well, and I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate that, because you see, Miss Winnie asked me to try. All I want you to do is to try. When she said that, I was so angry, because I was like, woman, if you don't get off my back, good Lord, I can't handle this no more. And you know what? I said, I'm going to shut her up. But you know what I was doing? You know what I was doing, really? I was shutting my mind up, and I was putting that positive force in motion. All because Miss Winnie asked me to do it. Because she believed in me since day one. And I've been behind the wheel about 3 or 4 times, and it's a slow process, and it's going. It's going, but I'm going to be evaluated, and it's going to happen. Okay? I'm not going to let this stop me. This is not the end. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a journey that has spouted off into another road, and I'm deciding to drive on that journey. I'm making the decision myself, because there are people that have told me you don't need to be driving. There are people that have told me you can't. There are people that have told me that you won't. You know what? You. Straight. Being real. Sometimes you just got to say you. And I'm not going to be dictated by people of what to tell me what I can or can't do. Because I'm going to be real. I have learned recently, thank you, Shayna, thank you, Jill, I have learned recently there's nothing I can't do. Nothing. There's no reason for me to have a negative thought in my mind about driving because I have the vehicle, I have the means. All I got to do is put myself behind the wheel, get the training, and get on the road, and as simple as that. People will tell you you can't. Doctors will tell you you shouldn't. Doctors will tell you that. You know, and I'm on medication too, and they told me I shouldn't. They told me I shouldn't. Doctors will tell you you shouldn't. Doctors don't know everything. You know the only person who knows yay or nay is God and you. So look, I'm going to ask you to do something. If you want something in your life, make a choice right now to go for it. Miss Winnie didn't tell me just to get behind the wheel and start driving right off. I had to get some stuff straight here. Understand, I had to get stuff straight in my head. I had to deal with this fear. Me and fear had a fight. And it was a knockdown, drag out fight. It was a fight. And it tried to knock me down. It tried to take me out. It tried to tell me I couldn't. It tried to tell me I wouldn't. But I said something different. I took positive action and I did what I was supposed to do. Because I believe in myself. I believe in myself as much as other people believe in me. And because Miss Wilson asked me to try, I figured that's all I can do. That's all anybody can do is try. That's all anybody can do is try. There are so many people that let fear dominate them before anything ever happens. And they don't even reach out to try. Well, I'm telling you today that you got to get through the barrier of fear itself, because fear is a beast, but it doesn't mean, thank you, sweetheart, it doesn't mean that you can't. So now my next part of my journey is to live fear-free. Because Corey Wilson said this, the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself. I know he actually didn't say the phrase, but when we were talking, something happened. And to hear myself say, what if I drive again? To ask myself the question, to allow myself to answer the question, what if I drive again? And to say, yes, DJ, you can drive again. To sit behind that wheel with my hands at 10 and 2 and understand that I got my hands on the wheel and my foot on the brake, let my foot off the brake, put it on the gas, and roll backwards. Things happen. Things happen. Fear is not going to control me. If anything, I'm going to use fear as a motivator to do what I need to do, because I got to nip this thing in the bud. I've been having this fear in my closet for way too daggone long. And some of you sit there with all this fear that's been sitting in your closet, and all this emotion that's been sitting in your closet, and all this stuff that's been sitting in your closet where everybody has told you you can't or you won't. Well, I'm here today to tell you, you will, you are, and you can. Ain't no better proof than that. You can be victorious in your battles. And I have that same fear, Ben. I'm scared of having a muscle spasm or a car stopping really quick and we hitting the gas instead of the brake. I understand that whole thing. I've gone through it. And when they tested me, they tested to see if I could do that, and I did it. We don't know what we can do until we get properly evaluated. Now, let me say this before I go. Getting properly evaluated is important. Don't just get behind the wheel without training. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I want to make sure to make this perfectly clear. Don't get behind the wheel without training. Find somebody that you are comfortable with. Look online. There are schools and there are people that are good. And train. You want to learn? Go in an empty parking lot and drive around the parking lot. Waste a tank of gas. You can get 300 miles in a tank of gas. Go around a parking lot. Drive that parking lot like you own it. And if you got to drive at 2 miles an hour, start at 2. You got to start somewhere. Then go to 3. Then go to 4. If you want to ride the brake, ride the brake. You got to learn. You got to learn. Do I need to do my show every day? No, I can't do my show every day. I wish I could, but no, it's Wednesday at 2 o'clock. That's when I do it. Thank you for that, though. It is baby steps, and that's what Miss Winnie taught me as well. Rome wasn't built in a day. But, the thing about it, now that I think about it, when she ticked me off so bad, I'm so thankful she ticked me off, because if she didn't put that fire in me, I never would have taken the action. Yeah, the hand controls, they didn't want me to use hand controls because I'm able to use my feet, and they don't want me to stop that. We have our strength. Let's discover what it is we are best in. Perfect it. That's very true, Susie. Look, I got like 4 minutes before I go, but I want to tell y'all something. Understand that if you let fear control your life, you'll never get anything done. Stop letting people tell you what you can't do. Stop letting fear control you and tell you what you won't do. Stomp fear in the face. Get up and do what you were born to do. Live. Live. And live the right way. Don't live in fear. Bust through it. Use fear as a motivator and get the things done that you know you can do. It doesn't matter what disability you have. It doesn't matter if you are perfectly able-bodied. We all deal with things. We all deal with things that we suffer from. We all deal with things that we have to fight through, but we have to fight them, and we don't have to fight them alone. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram at MyCP Does Not Define Me. You can follow me on YouTube at MyCP Does Not Define Me. Worth the Wait Cooking with DJ Carter and Chairmaster Games. You can follow me on my blog at CarterDJ85. Wix.com/mysite1. You can follow me. You can email me at CarterDJ85@gmail.com and the Sports Minion Radio Show at yahoo.com. If you've got a question or would like to be a guest on the show, I'm booked through December, so we're going to have to start taking you in January, but please let me know. I love you guys, and I hope this show has touched somebody's heart today. I hope somebody takes this and uses this as motivation to do what you were born to do. Be your best and don't ever rest, but make sure that you know you can get it done, and don't let fear stop you. If it does, punch it dead in the mouth, because that's the only way to stop fear totally, is to punch it square in the nose. And if you need help on that, give me a call, give me a contact. I will tell you, I will help you find that support system. Go with it. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to go through it alone. Know that you got people in your corner to help you out. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away, and my CP does not define me. Catch me next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Thank you, Miss Winnie. 2 p.m. Eastern Time on www.letgoradio.net and Facebook Live. I got Zoom hooked up. I know how to go live on Facebook with Zoom. Next week, I'm starting a Zoom combo, y'all. So that's another thing Miss Winnie got me set on. There's so many things this woman has done for me in my life. That's Mama Winnie right there. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out, guys. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I really do. doing a show like this, I didn't know I was going to share this on the air. I really didn't. And for me to share this moment, and for me to share this life experience, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I did it, and I'm proud of myself. I'm gonna end it right there because that's all I got. But I love y'all so much, and look for me. Look for me. Find me on YouTube. Find me on Facebook. Follow me. Thank y'all so much. Take it easy.